Hello, it's NITRON, and today we're playing that. Okay, let me explain. As most of you know, there was a Steam summer sale, and 3 games on my wish list were on sale. LEGO Star Wars 3 The Clone Wars, Transformers Devastation, and that. So why was this my wish list? I'll explain that in a different video. But for now, we're going to talk about RWBY, Grimm Eclipse. Wait, so what is RWBY Grimm Eclipse, you say? Well, let me explain. You're in for a show, and I don't mean the show itself, I mean, you'll see. RWBY is a web series created by Rooster and Monty Ohm. Not sure who Monty Ohm is? Remember that one very old video where Samus was fighting Master Chief? Yeah, he made that. Monty Ohm was an animator for Rooster Teeth. If you remember all those fight scenes from their first show, Red vs. Blue, that was mostly him. Eventually, Monty pitched the idea to create a brand new, original show for Rooster Teeth, and that show was RWBY. This show went through years of development and teaser trailers setting up the 4 main characters, Ruby, Weiss, Blake, and Yang. People got so excited when it finally arrived. And what did I think when it did?
Don't let your kids watch it!
I'll save my honest opinions on the series so far, especially Volume 3, in a future video, because we have to address the elephant in the room. Unfortunately, Monty Ohm passed away in 2015 from a severe allergic reaction during a routine medical procedure. The rest of Rooster Teeth have to continue RWBY without him. However, it is said that he left up to 8 volumes worth of story, for better or for worse. So they won't deviate from his vision. Look, if you want a taste from what I think, then here it is. I tried to get into the show, but after what the hell happened in Volume 3, there is no way I can continue. Now, don't get me wrong. Just because I don't like the show entirely does not mean I didn't like Monty himself. Heck, I never met the guy, unfortunately. And I'm pretty sure he was a nice guy and all. But I would have had him reconsider a few things in the story if I worked in Rooster Teeth or something, I don't know. But like I said before, we'll save this for another time. Right now, we're going to talk about the video game RWBY Grimm Eclipse. But then again, that's a whole different story altogether. So here comes another explanation. RWBY Grimm Eclipse first started as a fan-made game. It only had a Ruby Rose battling off waves of Wolf Grimm until you dropped. The combat system has a little learning curve to it. You have to not only do left-click combos, but press E to shoot just right to execute an even more stronger attack. In the series, they implement the recoil of a gunshot to gain momentum for an attack, hence why their weapons are also a gun. The combat is made to intentionally have an area effect damage. This is known as AoE. This is useful because there is a lot of Grimm as you progress through the game. There's also an inventory that has various items, suggesting that if this fan game continued, you would have had different clothes, weapons, and equipment to switch and upgrade as the waves get harder and harder. My only gripe is that potion drops seem kind of rare, and it's your only source to gain HP. Also, RWBY's model looks... But this is a fan game. Everything was built from scratch, so I understand that. Overall, the prototype is almost solid. You just need a bit finer tuning and polish. However, this caught the attention of Rooster Teeth itself. And instead of ordering
cease and desist,
they basically said, hey, work with us to polish this game even more. At first, that might have sounded like a good deal, but something must have happened along the way, because the final product does not reflect anything of what the prototype had. Everything in terms of combat have been completely downgraded. Left clicks are 4 combo attacks, right click is a charge attack. You can mix the 2, yeah, but you can't go any further after 1 right click. Surely this won't affect the AoE. It affected the AoE! There's only like one attack that's an AoE now. It tries so hard to be Dynasty Warriors, but they forgot about the AoE. Those games only work because you're fighting off multiple enemies at the same time! Only instead we got a counter system that you can barely even notice. So what, we're suddenly doing Batman Arkham City now? Well, not really, since the moment you can counter is all of a sudden, and you're trying to fight off these Grimm that you have barely any time to react to it. It doesn't help that there's a sound effect that lets you know, but it goes off for any approaching encounter, even the ones that you can't see. Why not make some sort of warning arrow? Or have the Grimm's eyes shine, something that's bright and more visual than a tiny keyboard letter button and a weird sound effect. But if you manage to counter, they'll be incapacitated for quite a while. Another thing is these wolf Grimm things, I don't know, they manage to block your attacks, which is annoying that all your combos just suddenly have no effect or anything. Oftentimes you will get them knocked out, but like I said before, there's no AoE attacks, meaning that you'll get hit by some other Grimm right when your combo ends. The health bar is your aura. In the show, that's their way of protecting themselves against the Grimm. It's basically a force field. It slowly regenerates after a while, but when your aura runs out, run. Because you only have 1 HP without it. And to add insult to injury, the AI often cheats and you have 2 Grimm hit you at the same time. How are you supposed to defend yourself from that? And when you die, do you respawn? No. You get sent back to the character selection and spawn to the last checkpoint, which is a sigh of relief, but still. Oh, and did I mention they can't double jump? I assume they could, since they are angsty teens with powers and agilities capable of fighting dark and edgy creatures. If they can go around with powerful transforming weapons with relative ease, why can't they be able to double jump? Okay, maybe it's the character. I guess it's time to switch to somebody else. The last thing I want is everyone to think that I have an obsession over Pyrrha. That isn't true, because long subscribers will know that there is only one female fictional character that I'm truly obsessed with. Squid Sister Marie from Splatoon. So my assumptions were correct. Everyone else's combat feels the same, minus Nora for her hammer. Then there's John. Holy fuck! John's the only one that gets some perfect AoEs to fight these baddies, and even gains a 50% damage buff after using his ultimate. Why doesn't anyone else get a stat boost like that? Oh yeah, I forgot to mention ultimates. You can fill a gauge by fighting, and when it's full, press 2 to use your ultimate. Wait a minute. What? Oh wait, only Ren's ultimate does something completely different, and John's ultimate gives him a buff. Really? Everyone else is the same area attack? This is a missed opportunity. Their ultimates have no significant relation to their semblance, except for a few characters that do, but they don't implement them at their fullest. Now I know John doesn't have one yet, but his is okay, thanks to the buff. But Yang, however, total missed opportunity. Since her semblance allows her to take tons of hits and becomes powerful when activated, that could have been used as her ultimate and wail on enemies for a short period of time. But no, we just get that, and this, and that, and this, and that. Other than that, there's no support, no tanks, no defense at all. All these characters feel like attackers. There's nothing unique about them. They're all the same, given that they all have different fighting styles and some do manage to transition into air combos if you keep spamming the left click, but there is nothing between them that can benefit a team in the long run. Maybe I'm just spoiled from Overwatch. Oh, that reminds me, Doomfist is here, but I'm stuck reviewing this.
Make sure your weapons are loaded and your mustache wax is stoned. This could get hairy.
Okay, so how's the gameplay? What do you do with these similar fighting styles in this game? It's boring, isn't it? All you do is fight enemies, move through empty places, break open boxes and vases, fight another wave, then do the next one. Defend this thing from 4 waves, rinse and repeat until you finish the level. And what do you get when you complete a level?
Nothing! Now get out!
What?
No wonder I got this for $9.99. There was no way this could have been a $25 game. And yet it is. You know what? I need a freaking break from this. I need to play a different game to keep my sanity. And Overwatch isn't enough. So I guess I'll play this. Don't want to continue, but I have to, for this channel's sake.
Once there was an ugly barnacle. He was so ugly that everyone died. The end.
Apparently this is part of the story. It takes place between volumes 1 and 2. Although this could have been its own thing, because there doesn't seem to be any reference to it in the actual show, and yeah, there isn't really much of a story.
These structures are beautiful.
Ah, yes, the Emerald Forest is filled with the ruins of ancient kingdoms.
I will say this, they nailed the appearance of the show. I mean, it's not hard to do. It is a 3D animated show. The environments do look well made, at some points at least. However, there are some weird moments, like this whole tree trunk thing. I know this is kinda nitpicky, but if we can't jump onto blocks, then why can't this tree trunk? And then jump onto the higher one? I know it's possible, but apparently tree trunks are pretty much barriers. Speaking of barriers, I can jump from a ledge and don't fall off the map. It's all barriers. And is that the actual edge of the map? Really? One last thing, every now and then, the camera will jitter into a different angle. When this happens, it usually makes the character run straight to the Grimm's attack, and I almost barely missed them. Also, the sounds... Some are off when you mess around, and other times I can't hear the characters, especially Blake.
Almost there. Enemy down. Done. It's beautiful. You're finished.
The final product of this game is a complete watered-down version of the original. The combat has been overhauled and reduced to a mere simple combat system with only a few AoEs, that you might end up spamming on the long run instead of using any other moves, because the game basically punishes you if you do. Only a few characters are fully realized, while the rest need improvement. The game doesn't take advantage of the characters' unique abilities, and instead just copy and paste almost 80% of their fighting styles. Just switch around the animations to their corresponding weapons. Going through levels seems more like a chore, just the same cycle. The story is forgettable. It's kind of a shame that something that looks this good at some points doesn't have that much filling content. Oh yeah, and there's multiplayer, but I don't have any friends that play this game. Remember the features that were in the prototype? Why was that completely ditched for a lackluster skill tree? I didn't brought it up because the basics upgrades are all the same. There are character specific upgrades, but only for their ultimates, adding a team attack functionality, and a third upgrade tree. And overall, that doesn't really show actual progress of the characters. It would be nice to have rewards like item drops, weapon drops, etc. I mean, we aren't breaking boxes just for nothing. There are experience orbs sometimes, but that's just it. The equipment features shouldn't have been dropped for something underwhelming. There was a lot of potential for it. We can improve on characters, give them an upgrade of weapons and outfits that give them some form of stats or abilities. Since this is a multiplayer heavy game, having players customize these characters can give a much more unique gameplay experience every day, since you'll never know what player you'll be teaming up with. Like I said before, their semblances should play a role in the gameplay as well. Powerhouses like Yang should feel like powerhouses. Have her ultimate be what activates her semblance. It shouldn't just be an AoE attack. It should increase her attack and speed for a short period of time. Have the maps loaded with metal objects for Pyrrha players to use her semblance. Maybe they'll uncover bonus loot or help them fighting if things get rough. I could go on for each character so far, but that will take too long. Unfortunately, this game might not make any other improvements on the long run, and it would probably stay like this for a long time. I have to give this game a 2 out of 5. It's accurate to the show, but only in terms of visuals, and doesn't take advantage of all the possibilities.
Do you believe in destiny?
Yes.